whole place went berserk. It was nuts. Yeah,
that was crazy.
Crazy.
I know, John, you and I are on the same page with this, that we were hoping that Ohtani would pitch in the playoffs. I think we finally got our no chance moment.
Did the official no way come
you
out?
said you needed what? You needed a doctor to tell you, right?
Well, the Dodgers can always overrule the doctor, but I thought if he was medically cleared that if I was running the Dodgers, would pitch him.
Tell him, Trev.
Dr. Neil L. Atrash.
Yeah, he's the man.
He's the man, and he was talking about Shohei pitching in the postseason. Quote, "It's not really a good idea for anyone coming back from elbow or shoulder surgery to make the return to competition in the postseason. There are no minor league games to get rehab starts for return to competition this time of year, so their first competition would be in the postseason high-stress conditions. This is the knockout shot. Not a good idea for the player or the team."
I think that's
it.
Yeah.
Right? That's the end.
Well, now if you play him, you look like an idiot if he gets hurt.
Correct.
Yeah.
What if Shohei comes to you and says, you're in the World Series, you're short, Kopech is down, whoever else is down, Trinan is down, and he says, I know there's risk, I want to do it.
Nope. I think it would be malpractice.
He says it, I know there's risk, I'm willing to assume the risk, I want to win the World Series, let's go.
In the NBA, the players call the shots. So if this was an NBA question and you're saying Giannis or LeBron or Durant is coming back from an injury and they say, I'm playing, there's nothing the team can do about it.
Okay.
Baseball has never been that way. Baseball, I think they could actually tell him no.
What if
But
it
you
was...
can't ruin a guy in basketball.
But there are two sides of this risk, right? There's the risk to Ohtani. There's also the risk to the Dodgers organization of not having Ohtani as a pitcher.
Okay,
investment.
And I understand you'd be overpaying him in this scenario, but what he does as an offensive player is so dramatic that even if you took the pitching out of it, it's expensive, but it's not where you're burning it on for nothing.
$700 million for I don't want to say just a hitter, but just a hitter. Doesn't that
one player?
One player. Yes,
it's an incredible overpay, but you're still getting the best offensive player in the whole league.
I don't even agree with you that it's an overpay.
70. That's double the next closest guy,
that's
practically.
A lot.
Right,
yeah.
But somebody. I have a friend that works at the Dodgers that said he's already brought in close to $500 million.
Yeah, just look at the
being on the team.
From a bottom line, it's a win 100 times over. I'm talking from a baseball. I got 26 spots. I was paying him $70 million so he could fill two of these spots essentially. That's the way. You picked some guys interesting talking about this, John. You mentioned Kevin Durant, LeBron, Giannis. Guys that have won titles, that have been through it, that are on the other side of the midway point of their career.
Right.
What if it was Wembanyama that came in and said, I want to do it? Would they still let him go out there?
That's an interesting
With
question.
a true future.
Because
Spurs allow him?
Because Ohtani's not
Popovich
Wembanyama.
has enough clout to tell him to whatever he wants to do. If it wasn't Popovich, like Pop's going to leave pretty soon, and let's say they hire some young coach, that guy can't tell Giannis no. No way. So
but don't you think that
you said Wemby. Wemby.
Don't you think if there's a difference because San Antonio hasn't been in a high leverage game in a couple of years? I don't think Wemby, if they're 10 games under 500, is saying put me out there no matter what.
I'm in a scenario where the best player or the soon-to-be best player in the league just getting started in their career, because Shohei's not just getting started, but he's not near the end. He's 30.
Just turned 30.
There's still 5 or 6 years of prime Ohtani left, but Wembanyama's got 15 years of prime Wembanyama left. That's the difference, right? To kind of say, I'll assume all the risk. I'm not going to blame you guys. You didn't push me. I'll say it, whatever you want. I want to do it. With Ohtani, I'm going.
You know what I don't want to screw up by throwing Ohtani is next year, opening day, Shohei Ohtani,
Japan.
Your starter.
Wow.
No, your starter at Dodgers. I want to see him start his first game at Dodger Stadium.
Perhaps.
No, you're right, Trev. They'll pitch him in Japan.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they'll pitch him in Japan. But what I want to see is Ohtani, the excitement of Ohtani pitching at Dodger Stadium for the first time.
Yeah.
Those tickets will go through the roof.
Yeah. Wouldn't you trade that for a World Series? In a what?
Of course.
And this is the question.
Of course.
The question is, what wouldn't you trade for it? And I don't think there's an answer to that. If you said to me, if he pitches, they win the World Series, and they
lose him,
and there's a real chance he doesn't pitch again, I might take a shot.
Hypothetical is, he pitches, he gets you the save in Game 7 of the World Series, but he hurts his arm again and can't pitch next year. Was it worth it?
Yes.
Absolutely, it was worth it. Yes.
The nightmare is he can't pitch or hit. But even if you won the World Series in that scenario, it's still worth it because he'll heal.
3-0 Tigers. Let's go, Detroit.
Knock out the Astros.
Get those Astros out.
No trash cans anymore.
7 years in a row, the Astros have been in the ALCS or better.
I know.
Or better.
Yeah.
Must be weird for A.J. Hinch, who's managing the Tigers now. The Astros fired him after the trash can scandal, and now he's worked
the trash can scandal. I love that.
It's pretty great.
Can scandal.
It's pretty great. Well, you're seeing this, and obviously these games get managed for most teams quite differently than you do during the regular season. DeMarco and I were talking about it. Hey, let's do something different.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Do you want to do that?
I didn't hear it.
Oh, Emily says the great
Clapper.
Dr. Clapper is online. He was listening when we were talking about Ohtani's injury. Dr. Clapper, what didn't we say that we should have said?
Here's a Clapper vision.
Perfect.
Now base 10 minutes, but you can't eat them yet. They take 40 minutes to cook. A ligament, which was repaired in his elbow, the Tommy John surgery, structurally so that he can go and pitch. But what takes time in the healing from Tommy John surgery is called inside our ligaments is a little alarm sensor that a burglar is trying to lift the window to get in the house. And it gives feedback to the brain for position sense. It's called proprioception. That takes time to come back. So structurally, you can throw miles an hour. But the feedback to the brain, are you damaged to the joint? Not there yet. So he cannot now. He better. It's nice to talk about it, but as an orthopedic surgeon, he cannot.
So, point of information: undercooked brownies are actually delicious. Undercooked brownies. I cook from your call, Doc.
So, from what you just said, that there's a ramp up to this that Ohtani needs to, like.
There's a ramp up, but more importantly, John, there's a time that we just cannot shorten in terms of the fine-tuning of beyond just the ligament being stable so that your elbow doesn't open up when you throw that fastball or curveball. It's the fine-tuning, the connection between your brain and the joint. How many non-contact ACLs we see in the NBA where they just plant their foot and tear their ligament, or in football? It's an epidemic. No one's tackling anybody. It's no collision. They tear their ACL. That's because you're losing that proprioception, that feedback that you get from the ligament that doesn't exist when you don't let the high school kid play multiple sports, like Michael Thompson talks about all the time, cross-training. And that's truly what keeps you healthy. He's more than just an elbow-stable ligament now. He needs that fine-tuning feedback connection to his brain.
See, Doc, I'm glad you called, but just so you know, I was about to get into proprioception before you.
Everybody's looking it up.
You blew my cheese for next hour.
But Doc said should not pitch.
Yeah, should not.
Didn't say could not.
Yeah.
And you said he can still hit 90.
Well,
you're going to damage him if you pitch him.
Doc,
but it's all about
in
World
a
Series.
separate question, how are you?
Listen, all of Los Angeles, I may be a healer as a surgeon, but don't you guys forget it. You guys are healing this community and this town by being on the radio.
Proprioception of radio
You're
hosts.
also a doctor, and I'm proud to be in the ESPN 710 family.
Thank you.
米国の野球専門誌ビースボルアメリカ BA は近シーズンのメジャーリーグ年間最優秀選手賞 MVP を発表し、ヤンキースのアーロン・ジャッジが選出されました。これによりドジャースの大谷翔平は2年連続の受賞を逃しました。ジャッジはキマシーズン白無視発試合に出場し、無視発本取りで大、白四死退点、OPC 依然無敗無四球という敬儀的な成績を残しました。その中でも特に注目すべきは長打率、キゼロ億で、これは2004年にバリ・ボンズが記録した。 パキキナ以来約20年ぶりの高水準です。さらに、ジャッジの WRC プラス荷重的点消出は110発に達し、メジャーリーグベースボール全体でトップに立ちました。メジャーリーグベースボール工事のサラ・ラングス記者によると、友達者としては歴代最高の数値であり、ジャッジの大局力はまさに歴史的なものと言えます。また、彼は守備でも活躍しており、近シーズンは互換トップとして箱も試合に憲法出場しました。ジャッジは大撃だけでなく、守備でもヤンキースの勝利に大きく貢献し、ヤンキースがリグの第一指導を確保する上で重要な役割を果たしました。ビースボールアメリカはジャッジの近シーズンの活躍を評価し、彼を MVP に選んだ理由として、キャプテンマクノシーにふさわしいリーダーシップと後熟にわたる素晴らしいパフォーマンスを挙げています。初取りでル・デイ・イエンゲ58、超大理、点701、本取りで第58、大点144、私9、133、WRC パス28、FLR11.2 といった成績は、彼がメジャーリーグ全体で最高の選手の一人であることを証明しています。一方で、大谷翔平もカマシーズン多くのメガを達成しました。彼は史上6人目の40本取りで第4世40同取りでかを達成し、さらには1000人未同の50本取りで第&50同取りで50、50という空前の記録を成し遂げました。大陸、本取りで大点、同取りでのいずれにおいても自己ベストを更新し、54本取りで第130大点で2冠を獲得しました。全米野球記者協会 BBWIA によるな、リーグ MVP の最有力候補としても大谷の名前が挙げられており、彼の成績はリーグ全体で注目されています。大谷は過去にもビースボールアメリカの MVP を2度受賞しています。2021年には投手として9勝、防御率 3.18 を記録し、打者としてモリーグ3位の46本取りで大王放置、二刀流選手としての圧倒的な存在感を示しました。また、2023年には10勝、防御率 3.14 を記録し、打者としても44本取りで多数を打ち、アジア人種の本取りで大王にかばきました。これにより、大谷は歴史にその命を刻みました。ジャッジも2022年にアーリーグ新記録となる62本取りで、タツを放置、ビースボールアメリカの MVP に選出されています。今年、MVP を受賞したのは、ジャッジと第5人のみであり、両者の競争はメジャーリーグ全体を大いに盛り上げています。近シーズン、ジャッジが MVP に選ばれたものの、大谷翔平の成績や攻撃も決して色出せることはなく、両者がメジャーリーグで特別な存在であることは誰もが認めるところです。今後もこの二人がどのような記録を打ち立て、どのようにリーグをリードしていくのか、ますます注目が集まります。ジャッジの圧倒的な大気力と守備力、大谷の二刀流としての比類なき才能がメジャーリーグをさらに進化させ、新たなファン層を引き寄せ続けるでしょう。この二人の競争と活躍は野球界全体にとって大きな影響を与え、彼らの存在は今後も語り継がれていくことでしょう。